From supply chain disruptions to bold new innovations, the transportation and logistics world is heating up. Join top industry minds as they tackle M&A and reveal what's steering the future.
Welcome back for another special edition of The Hot Seat, a little heat in the street. I've got two special guests with me, my friends Jeremy Reymer, Mark Manera from Project 61. Guys, y'all, this is some fascinating stuff that's going on that everybody needs to know about. First of all, Jeremy, what is Project 61?
So Project 61 is a nonprofit 501c3. It was established just about a year ago, about this time last year in 2024. And the relevance to the number 61 is the average life expectancy of a commercial truck driver. And if you just let that sink in for a minute, when you and I will probably, hopefully, live into our later 70s.
God willing, yes.
At least, hopefully. And so it's just something that it moved me to the point where I knew that we needed to do something about it. And I wanted to leverage my industry network and influence to be a positive force of change. So the goal is to move that needle. 61 is far too young.
All right. Now, Mark, separately, you've been doing a variety of different things to try to get drivers healthy for several years now. But you guys have kind of been doing this separately. So tell me about, how did this come together? How did you join forces and why?
Yeah, so I had a previous company called Offshift, and we were an employee benefit that we were helping trucking companies prevent and manage obesity-related chronic diseases in their drivers. So helping drivers exercise in the back of their truck, eat healthier at the truck stop or McDonald's attached to it. And, as we were going forward, Project 61 started up, and honestly, we were really close partners. And because of the buzz that Project 61 was having in the industry, Jeremy and I were working together of trying, here's a solution that's driver-specific through Offshift. And, earlier this year, we looked at both of each other and we were like, hey, we're on the same mission. We're on trying to go in the same direction, helping drivers, but, we're in two different boats. Why don't we jump in the same one? We could row faster and farther together. And so Project 61 acquired my company Offshift. And really the exciting thing is we went from selling to trucking companies to now through Project 61 and the nonprofit, taking that solution and giving it away completely for free.
Wow.
And so the goal is, how do we create a driver-specific solution and make it as accessible and easy for any driver, any company out there to offer it?
Yeah. I think that's wonderful. What I really like about this story is because, and you probably didn't know I was going to ask you about this, but there really is broad application for a lot of folks who are trying to solve similar problems. They're realizing that they are in different boats right now, the actual trucking companies, and there's tremendous opportunity to figure out, where are we aligned? Is there an opportunity to merge or to acquire some other things?
Yeah.
So, talk our audience through that process. How did the conversation come about, and how did you actually affect coming to join forces?
So, I knew it with Project 61, for us to address this issue at scale, right? I mean, you have 3.5 million drivers, most of which are not healthy, and we want to help them. Technology was going to need to be a core part of our mission and plan going forward. And so I either was going to need to build something, or buy something, right? But I needed technology. And so it made a lot of sense. I thought through the build process, mainly because Dr. Mark had a product, and, as an entrepreneur, I figured he had this exciting, grand exit in mind. And so I felt maybe that's not the path for him with us. But once we started having that conversation, who else would you rather partner with? With somebody who's as passionate as he is, who's already built a really good platform that we can continue to evolve. It just made sense. And it helps when you just have open dialogue about that. And probably doesn't work a lot of times, but at least let's have conversations about it.
I love how you just didn't allow typical assumptions to stop the conversation. He could have said exactly what you thought he might say, but he didn't.
Right.
But you still have the conversation. I think that's such a good teachable moment for our people. Now, both you guys, handsome men, no doubt about that.
We tried.
No doubt about that. You guys have both been in shit. You actually had a pretty significant transformation over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And I kind of followed a little bit of that from afar. It's very clear. So what was the inspiration around that? You got very healthy and, very obvious. So what was the inspiration behind that?
So I've got 3 young kids, and I'm 50. I'll be 52 this year, and I want to be around. So that's it. I mean, it's really that simple. But then when you take that and you say, okay, that's my situation. What about these guys? that are 62, on average, 61 years old. What about these? They have kids. Some of them have grandkids. I don't want their families to be robbed.
Yeah.
So that's it.
So let me ask you guys this. I love your passion. Future state, we're 5, 10 years, 20 years from now, and the average age isn't 61 anymore.
Yeah.
Let's say it's 68.
Right.
How will our industry be better and healthier at that time?
Well, do we change the name of the company? Yes.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're saving lives. You're extending lives. You're in an industry where safety is so critical. You're helping. A healthier driver is a safer driver. You're helping companies be a lot safer. And this is such a great, you've been around this industry a long time. This is such a great industry. We have to be able to do better than this for these drivers.
Yeah.
We just have to.
And I'd add to that, we have an industry where the average driver is getting older and older, and we're struggling to bring the next generation in. And so I think Project 61 has an opportunity to create a culture of, hey, this is actually what a driver is. We care about driver from a mental and physical health perspective. And then also, you talk to enough trucking companies, and one of the biggest headaches that's keeping them up at night is the rise of insurance costs and the impact of having a driver who's unhealthy and, a larger risk behind the wheel impacts auto liability costs, impacts work comp risk, impacts healthcare costs. And so for us, how can we partner with companies and not only help their people be healthier, but also help them reduce risk and overall, create a better operational efficiency as well?
It's there's a lot of great causes out there, but what you're doing is special is that you're taking something that's very important that affects people's lives, but you're also putting a business case around it about why it makes sense.
Yeah.
And so, I just want to encourage you guys. You're doing phenomenal stuff. How can our audience and our network learn more about what you're doing, and how can they get involved and support you?
Yeah, go to project-61.org. Look up Project 61 on any social media, or go download our free app, Offshift by Project 61. We have a bunch of industry-wide challenges like our 61-day step challenge coming up, and really just encourage, I feel like any trucking company or driver out there, this is a no-brainer. Again, it's completely free, and we're a 501c3 nonprofit who can't get behind it.
Don't have anything else to add to that. Hey guys, thanks so much for spending a little time with us here at ACA San Diego. That's going to do it for us in the hot seat. We will see you next time.